Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs, your co-host on a rather chilly Thursday evening here in Columbus, Ohio.
It's chilly.
It's chilly. And I'm here, of course, with my other co-host, Zan Sprouse, sporting some new eyewear that's rather stylish.
Thank you very much.
And somewhat feline.
It is. It's a little bit of a cat eye going on. They're very similar to my previous glasses. They are black and pink Ray-Bans. They're just a little bit of a different style.
But very nice. They look good.
Thank you very much. I'm glad they look even.
Yes.
So,
symmetry is important. Yes.
I just picked them up about 2 hours ago, so they sort of feel different, but the same. Like how glasses always feel different, but the same when you get glasses.
So if you hear any awkward pauses, more than just my awkward pauses, Zan's probably just trying to get used to her new glasses, her new frames.
Yes. They are in their new prescription too. So.
Yeah. So fresh out of the box with all the latest upgrades and all that joy, all that jazz. So
all that fun stuff.
We're here to talk about Twin Peaks, of course, because, hey, we're a Twin Peaks podcast, go figure. And we're here at episode 49. We're going to talk about Drive with a Dead Girl.
Yeah.
So the second part of this, what I like to call the Bob trilogy, that started last time. I mean, because we had the revelation that Bob was inside Leland Palmer and that he was the murderer of Laura Palmer, and now now in this episode we get to kind of see Leland knowing that Bob's inside him. So we kind of get to see him being his rather dark, malevolent self, as Bob just enjoys the ride and is pretty much taken full control at this point of Leland.
Oh, Bob is so terrible.
And he goes for a little drive in his convertible.
Yes, a little bit of a drive.
Hence the title, Drive with a Dead Girl.
Drive with a Dead Girl. I wonder who's going to be in the trunk.
Yes. Well, we know there's a golf club in the trunk.
Yeah, there's golf clubs in the trunk.
And there's a gym bag, rather large gym bag, like a body-shaped gym bag.
Like a body-shaped gym bag, yeah. That's very, very, very obvious what's going on in this situation.
There is a man with the smiling bag.
Is that bag smiling?
It's not really smiling. It's more zipped up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's true. It is more of a zipped up bag.
It's zipped up. There's a man with a zipped up bag.
There's a man with a zipped up gym bag. He just came from the gym.
Yeah.
And you should probably be careful.
He just came from Planet Fitness.
Yeah, it's so sad how he really does just toy with Leland.
Right. And that's kind of one of the juicy things I love about this episode is that we get to see him just being so evil, and we kind of he's really vamping it up for the audience. Yeah,
this is a good episode of Leland or Bob, frankly.
Right. Although pretty much it's like mostly Bob at this point.
It's pretty much mostly Bob, but it's definitely a good one for watching how Ray Wise does it.
And because of course Ray Wise just kills it in this episode. He's so good, so creepy. And,
so good, so creepy.
And we see how
so good at going back and forth.
And we see how much he puts on a front for everybody at this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He is completely he's just trying to be as normal as Bob can possibly be, but Bob is one of those guys that doesn't know how to be normal. He doesn't know how humans really are.
Right.
So he can't really do that very well.
Yeah, and you see him trying to do Leland things. But because he's so evil and demonic, it's like okay, what if a human or a demon decided to go for a joyride in a human's body and wackiness ensues?
With the dead body of his niece in the car.
Exactly.
Because,
as you do.
We talked about that last week, so I don't feel bad about talking about it.
No. it's, well, hey, it's like, gee, only 28 years spoiler on that one.
Yeah, that's the thing. After something, after something's been out for at least 5 years, there's no such thing as a spoiler alert. That's on you.
I think that statute of limitations has expired.
I think it is most definitely expired. This just occurred to me. You know what Bob kind of reminds me of?
Who?
The Hidden.
Oh.
Have you seen the movie The Hidden?
Yeah, a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that.
With Kyle MacLachlan.
Right.
Where he just uses the bodies till they're used up.
Right.
And they can't do anything with them anymore.
Yeah, feeds off of them and then discards them. Yeah.
Right. So it's done. Once the body's done, then he gets rid of it and finds another body to get into trouble, into intergalactic trouble, in the sense of The Hidden. Of course, that's more of a intergalactic story. Spoiler alert: Kyle MacLachlan's an alien. But it's that same concept where you're not quite sure what the creature that has the body that you are in does.
Right.
But that's what you're doing.
Because and if you haven't seen the movie, you haven't seen this creature before. So it's all, you're trying to figure what its abilities are, what its thing is, what it's doing.
Right. What is it, how am I going to blend in?
Yep.
So in the case of The Hidden, so I can just, steal cars and rob businesses and
it's raison d'etre.
Yeah, just general mayhem is what you're trying to go for. Whereas Bob is like, I need to somehow fit in with these humans so I can infiltrate.
Yeah,
and do what I got to do here. So
right, and part of his plan is to basically kind of throw Ben Horn under the bus, as we'll talk about. Because
I'm okay with that, frankly.
Well, yeah, but the fact is, though, hey, he's the real murderer, and he's getting away with it by distracting everybody's attention on Ben.
Yeah, that's I think what's weird about this is we know who the real killer is.
Yeah.
But we almost don't want them to be found out because we know that who's going to go to jail? Leland.
Right.
Bob's going to leave. Leland's going to go to jail. Leland is innocent in this as well.
Right.
Leland had no control over his body when this happened. So there's no way that he can take the blame for this. I mean, it's not like he just made bad choices and did the wrong. He didn't just get in with a bad crowd of kids or something like that. I mean, this was not his idea. This was not what he wanted. And so that what's going to happen when Leland, we'll see. Spoiler alert, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But that it's just going to be bad for Leland too, and you don't want that. So you're almost like, I don't even know. That's the weird thing about this case, is that there is never going to be justice because it's supernatural.
Right.
It's not like
unless you had to jail. Yeah, unless you had Freddie McRubberfist handy.
Yeah,
you're not going to get supernatural justice
to punch him back into the White Lodge.
Right.
And that's the only way it's going to happen. But so yeah, it's very sad that it has to end the way it does.
Yeah,
but
it's very open-ended, and although it teases more.
Well, yeah.
But it's that kind of like, well, I'll be back, kind of,
Yeah.
There's,
Death is but a door, time is but a window. I'll be back.
Exactly.
Nice. You know what that's from?
All right, recite it one more time. Let's see if I can remember.
Death is but a door, time is but a window. I'll be back.
It sounds familiar, but I'm stumped. What is it?
It's the last words of Vigo the Carpathian.
Oh.
Ghostbusters 2.
He is Vigo. Yes, that's right.
Ruler of Moldavia.
Yep. Why am I dripping with goo?
Why am I dripping with goo?
Yeah. Yep. He's so good at that. I love that line when he says that. Just the
Why am I dripping with goo? Yeah.
So this episode came out, as we talked about, 28 years ago, on November 17th, 1990.
Oh my gosh.
Written by Scott Frost, brother of Mark Frost.
Hey, that's
Hey.
always a.
So hooray for nepotism once again here on Twin
Hey,
Peaks.
the Frost can do whatever they want, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
And what's
also,
interesting about this episode's credits is that since we let the cat out of the bag last episode,
yeah.
Piper Laurie is back in the credits as Tajimura and Catherine Martell.
Yeah, she gets double billing now.
Yes, she gets the double. They let it out of the bag, so now they're.
Yeah, now they can actually be upfront about it. Yeah, and give Piper Laurie her credit. But yeah, Scott Frost. We've talked about what he's done a couple times here because, of course, he wrote Diane, the Twin Peaks tapes of Agent Cooper.
Yes, he did.
And he also wrote the novel, the autobiography of FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper, My Life, My Tapes.
The sadly no longer in canon.
Right.
But still very entertaining with his early childhood.
Some of it can be in canon because some of it wasn't erased. So I would just take the bits that don't contradict the return.
No, it's not that it was the return. It was that he was setting it up that Wyndham Earle was more of a player in some things.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And right. Yeah. So I think the first 3/4 of it is fine. It's just when we start getting to Wyndham Earle, that's when we start going a little bit off the
so
off the rails.
With canon, it always seems like, especially when you're dealing with a TV show, that the TV show is essentially like the main canon. And then everything else, like novelization tie-ins or comic books, what have you, that falls into the category of like it's canon unless something in the TV show contradicts it.
True. Exactly.
That's the way I approach it. That's the way I approach canon anyway.
Yeah, you can pick and choose from it.
And obviously some things, if it just makes no sense whatsoever, you disregard it, or just that, some things you like, some things you don't. Everybody has their own idea of what's canon, what's not. So.
Right. Well, the problem is that as the show went on, Wyndham Earle was not what they were insinuating he was in that book.
Yeah. They hadn't really figured out what they wanted to do with the character yet. They had a name and, like a vague idea.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
They had some things credited to him that didn't exactly happen that way.
So as far as guest cast for this episode, we get the introduction of Jane Greer as Vivian Smythe Niles. Norma's rather horrible mother.
Do we find anything else out about her this episode? I don't remember if that's this episode.
No, not this episode.
Okay.
But we also get the introduction of James Booth as Ernie, the Professor Niles.
God.
The Professor. We get a quick little appearance by Kathleen Wilhoit as Gwen Morton, Lucy's sister, who I became a fan of, not just because on this show, but she was on Gilmore Girls. She played a major recurring character in Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, she played, she was Luke's sister on Gilmore Girls.
Okay, I have not seen...
If you haven't watched Gilmore Girls, well then it's obviously...
Yeah, I haven't seen more than like 3 minutes of Gilmore Girls.
Okay, so if you watch Gilmore Girls, Luke's sister, that's her.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because my wife and I, we watched all of Gilmore Girls, so...
It almost had me when I found out that the grandfather was Edward Herman.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a time commitment that is like kind of down low on the list.
It's worth it. Is
it? Okay.
Yeah. I actually really like Gilmore Girls. I thought the dialogue is very sharp.
Okay.
So, I liked it a lot. And great casting. It's a great ensemble cast.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's basically where, what's her name? Shoot. Never mind. I can't remember her name, but.
Okay.
Yeah, that's comedic actress, just got nominated for an Academy Award for a film she's in.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yes, Melissa McCarthy. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, she played Sookie St. James.
Right. I forgot that she was on it.
That's where that was her big
pulled.
break, essentially.
Because I love Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, he was basically before she became famous. That's where she made her debut.
That's where she was famous.
Yeah, that's where she broke into the public Main Street,
Gotcha.
I guess.
Gotcha.
First. We also had, in a very short segment, but it's a memorable one, we have Emily Fincher as Louise Dombrowski.
Oh, yeah.
The Ben and Jerry's babysitter that dances for them on a hook rug with a flashlight. Well, if the name Fincher sounds familiar, yes, she's the sister of none other than David Fincher, director of Seven and Fight Club and all that. So
yeah, and most recently, my favorite recent movie of his being Gone Girl, which was very Fincher-esque, if you can use that as an adjective.
And he directed, of course, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the U.S. version.
Yes, the English version.
Yeah, and did a really good job with that. So
that was interesting because I kept watching that thinking, when are they going to go to Australia? But they cut that part out. They cut the part out of her living in Australia. So
yeah.
I don't know if anybody read the books.
Well, the movie was already like 2.5 hours, so they had to cut something.
That was the problem. I'm like, wow, we're really moving along here, and I think she just doesn't. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna kind of cut that part. But I just thought I'd bring her up. Of course, this is also the last appearance we see of Cheryl Lee as Maddie Ferguson.
So sad. Yeah, Maddie doesn't really ever come back, does she?
Nope. No, she doesn't show up interestingly, she doesn't show up in the lodge.
Yeah.
Like Laura did, even though she was killed by Bob, so you think she would.
And because when Laura says, she's Maddie, she's my cousin, I feel like I know her, all that stuff.
Right.
She's Laura. She's got the blonde hair.
Yeah.
But the Maddie character doesn't really ever show up again.
Which I thought was kind of odd, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. But, and then, of course, Grace Zabriskie is Sarah Palmer, Chris Mulkey is Hank Jennings, David Patrick Kelly is Jerry Horn, etc., etc. Frank Silva is Bob. So always, yeah. All right.
Always terrifying.
Now, before we get started, though, I teased this with Zan earlier before we started recording.
Oh yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, so it's not that big of a deal. So don't get your expectations up. But last time we talked about Northern Exposure.
Okay. Yes.
And we talked about a certain DJ on Northern Exposure.
Oh, I'm even more excited about this now.
Okay, so digging through my archives, I just happened to find this bad boy.
What?
The Northern Exposure
book.
Chris in the Morning book.
Nice.
It's Love, Life, and the Whole Karmic Enchilada.
That is awesome.
Which is essentially filled with, like, Chris Stevens quotes.
That is fantastic.
So pretty.
I remember that book, but I just never owned it.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. So
that's awesome.
I just thought you get a kick out of that.
I do. That's fantastic.
I haven't looked at this in years, but I was inspired to, after talking about that with you last week. I thought I'd dig that out to make sure I still had it. Thankfully, I did.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I have to loan this out to you.
No, I'm gonna have to add to our Chris in the Morning little love fest here because I have this.
So you have a John Corbett CD?
Yeah, one of his albums.
I didn't realize he released albums.
Yeah, he did.
So, okay.
So, yeah, because I'm just a little bit too much of a John Corbett nerd.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd give you a show off my little Northern Exposure street cred here.
That is awesome, and that is in excellent condition.
Thank
I'm
you.
very proud of how well you keep your books.
Oh, I am meticulous about my books.
Well, I am too, but
I care more about my books than I do myself, so I take better care of my books than I do. Yeah, so.
Well, we have cats and stuff like that, so
yeah.
I mean, it could be.
No, but yeah, thank you for the compliment, though. Nice,
I like that.
Like almost like you just got it. So.
Yeah, because I have a first edition of one of the recent biographies of Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Cat claws all over it.
Of course.
Cat claw marks everywhere.
Yeah. See,
I was mad.
Thankfully, my cats so far have been respectful of my books.
That's nice.
I haven't had that problem. I've been lucky with that.
Mine does anything to get my attention when she's hungry.
We have tons of scratching posts, so they tend to stick to those. Thankfully.
Really? Your cats
yes, they actually
scratching posts for scratching?
Yes, they do.
That's impressive. I don't know how you did that, but that's impressive.
I don't know how we did it either, but as long as they're doing it, that's all right. But and I've read this book like at least 5 times. So, and it's still in pretty good condition. So I'm very proud of it.
Sweet.
But anyway, I just thought you get a kick out of that.
I did. That's awesome. So, who wrote that?
This was compiled and edited by Louis Chunevik.
I don't know that name.
I don't know that name either, but it's by Contemporary Books and came out in 1993. In case anybody's curious about, want to track it down. So that's where you can. That's the book you're looking for. So yeah, it's Chris in the Morning, Love Life, and the Whole Karmic Enchilada, a Northern Exposure book.
Nice.
I guess they figured, well, Twin Peaks is doing books. We should be doing books as well.
They should totally be doing books. Yep.
So, all right. So just thought I'd bring that up before we got going. Oh, and of course, we just recently had David Lynch's 73rd birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday, David Lynch.
Happy birthday, David Lynch. That happened in between our last episode and now.
And this episode, yes.
All right. So we've got everything queued up.
Okay.
So let me make sure this hasn't crashed on me. Okay, looks like we're good. So we're obviously at the 1 minute 31 second mark, and the screen is black because our life is black. Everything is black.
Now it's dark.
And now it's dark. All right. So as we get ready, all right. So if ever you want to sync up with us at home, playing the home game, feel free and get your pause or button ready, and we will start our episode in 3, 2, 1. Doink. And we have a rather creepy Palmer House exterior at night. You can still hear Maddie screaming, which is rather chilling.
Yeah, because if there's anything more chilling than a Cheryl Lee scream, I really don't want to hear what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
But so now we've kind of jumped ahead to the next morning, the morning after.
Oh, look, the Palmer House has a widow's walk on the side. I never noticed that.
So as we do a slow pan through the living room, we hear the sounds of golf club hitting balls in the living room.
Seriously. I love this 80s furniture too.
Yep. There's that ugly carpet once again.
Yep.
But Leland decides to get some practice in with his 9-iron here.
And he's probably been up all night doing this because Sarah's been passed out. So
now it's like, now as we approach the edge of the green, Leland Palmer readies his 9-iron. Oh,
Deschanel directed this too.
Yes.
Husband.
Oh yeah, Caleb Deschanel. Yeah. Yeah. So father of Emily and
Zoe, and
yeah.
Husband of Mary.
Yep.
Oh, geez. Look at him being so matter of fact, and now you kids.
Yep. So they're coming looking for Maddie. She's not there because, hey, she's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like, oh, you just missed her alive.
And he's trying to blame them for not coming to see her sooner. Well, she's disappointed.
Yeah.
So.
Boy, Leland sure has a lot of balls.
If I had a nickel for every ball your father hit in this living room, I'd be dead.
But obviously working on his chip shot.
Oh. Yeah, you can write to her because this is 1990. And
yeah, people still wrote. People still wrote then.
Yeah, people sent actual paper letters.
They corresponded.
I wonder how Leland Palmer feels about James.
Leland, his attorney, always straightening his tie.
Because he is sort of, he was his daughter's secret boyfriend. So, I mean, I wonder how he.
Now, what I love here is this kind of hint of menace now. Now that we're in on it, that we get to see Bob creeping out through Leland and that threat of violence at any moment now.
And see, once you've studied this performance by Ray Wise, that's how. Oh God, Maddie's in that bag.
Yep. You're gonna need a air freshener or something for that.
And once you've seen this, you're pretty good at playing Bob or Leland because
He's pretty casual about carrying an entire dead body on his left shoulder.
Just thump right into the trunk.
Yep. Poop. Pops right in there.
Yep.
Yep.
License plate. Yep. This is, of course, the same car that Leland and Laura were in when they see Mike at the stoplight.
This is true. Yeah. But sure is a lovely day for a drive, to dump a body.
Jeez. Oh, God. Cleaning the bars. Like, you're so much better than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, remember, kids, good dental hygiene is important, especially in the slammer.
Oh, especially in the slammer. You got to keep your teeth in the slammer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Jerry has apparently been to Japan.
But points to Jerry for the bow tie, because bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. I have a hard time watching this scene. I don't know if I've ever told you this, Charles, but I have a hard time with human saliva.
Oh, no.
And when people brush their teeth, it just really grosses me out.
Interesting.
Especially if they're talking to me with like that foamy spit sound.
Is that like a germaphobe thing, or?
No, it's not a germaphobe thing. It's just a weird thing that I've always had a weird spit thing, like little kid drooly, and I can't handle that stuff.
That's okay. Everybody's got their thing, so I get it.
That's my thing. Yep.
So everybody, don't brush your teeth in front of Zan. It's not good.
Thank you. I would appreciate it. Please brush your teeth. Just warn me.
Important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
Excuse me. You said brushing your teeth in front of Zan was bad.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I love how Jerry's
like the worst lawyer
ever.
No
idea what he's doing.
Right. I probably know more about the law than Jerry does.
Yeah. Again, back to Ghostbusters too. Yeah. I do mostly probate stuff and tax law. I got my law degree at night school. So
who does your taxes?
Yeah, and so see, here's the problem when you are Benjamin Horne.
Yeah.
On the night when bad stuff goes down, you're doing all the wrong shit.
Right.
He just said here, where were you when Laura died? I was with Catherine. I was like, how do you tell somebody that?
Okay, I'm wondering something about this scene.
How do you smoke in jail?
Well, having the cigars is one thing. How does he still have a lighter in jail?
Ooh, excellent question.
I mean, doesn't anybody bother frisking him at this point?
Yeah, seriously.
This just really bugs me.
And Jerry came up to him and said, he said, did you kill her? Like, of course,
he doesn't know.
They always ask you that. But
then he's like, the truth is the last thing your lawyer should know.
I think there's a little piece of Jerry that would not be surprised if Ben Horne had said yes.
No, because he obviously knows Ben best. Oh, here's our little flashback scene with Louise Dombrowski, David Fincher's sister. Keep that in mind. What's
really kind of strange about this is this is a little bit of an Audrey dance here.
Yeah, she got some moves. I'll give her that.
She does have some moves. Yep.
And of course, the slow-mo helps, but it's shot really well, I think.
It is. It really is. Oh, jeez.
And these two kids, it's like they got like two Ralphies from A Christmas Story.
It's so funny too. Yeah, they're like, you can tell exactly which one's supposed to be which.
Well, you kind of have to figure what this is, like the '60s or something when they were kids,
like late '50s, early '60s.
Yeah, so they obviously have the horn rim glasses and all that. And...
Yep. Yeah, that's a good question because I'm thinking about how old Richard Beymer actually is and how he
yeah, not sure the exact timeline here, but I think late 50s, early 60s is a good guess.
Yeah, 50s.
Like
actually,
I said,
it's more 50s or 40s.
Well, it looks, it could be. I don't know, but this is obviously 1990. So if you go back, you figure how old are they here in their late 40s?
40s, 50s, yeah, that's true.
So go back, say, 30 years.
Yep.
That would be early 60s. Oh my God, there's like two of them.
The Moran sisters look exactly the same. It's so adorable.
They go to the same perm stylist.
Yep, they do this. They get their hair done the same place.
Maybe they get discounts for volume.
Yeah, they get a big group discount.
Oh. So Lucy introduces Gwen to Hawk.
Yeah, My name is Hawk.
So Gwen tries to be woke here.
Gwen is not going to do a very good job about that.
You must hate us white people.
After all we've done to you.
But Hawk has a great retort. Some of my best friends are white people.
I love that, because that's what everybody says.
That was great.
When someone accuses them of being racist.
Yeah. It was so funny that he got to deliver that line.
That's so great. A shaman priest. In our world, he is a shoe salesman.
Next on the Twilight Zone. That's what it sounded like. Very Rod Serling to me.
Back to work, dancing around.
It's Fred Astaire.
Because he cannot figure out how to not draw attention to himself.
Yep.
But here's the thing about grief, is that it makes people do crazy things, and people don't necessarily suspect you for doing weird things when you're going through a period of major grief.
Leland singing in the rain of terror.
The reign of terror. Does he know he arrested Ben Horn? I don't know. He might be excited about it because he knows we didn't arrest him.
Right, exactly. He might take it pretty well.
Either we're real waiters or don't even bother.
Yeah.
The guy's got like half chaps waiters. It's bizarre.
Now, they should be happy because he's like free entertainment for the guests. He just shows up and dances and sings.
10 in the morning, I'd listen to some sort of, Fred Astaire review at 10 in the morning. Now here, look at Ray Wise with his fake, he's laughing because he's like, oh my God, you guys are so stupid.
He's like, I can't believe I'm getting away with this. I'm totally getting away with this.
And he's like, oh, wait a minute. Didn't I kill a guy because I thought it was him?
Leland killed a guy.
Leland killed a guy. Oh, look at him trying to cry.
Yeah,
it's
like, this is my mock tears.
I think that's the mark of a really good actor.
That he can act fake.
Right, when you can see them acting fake, but also see them acting that same emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, I've watched it. Yes.
But my favorite one, which was Freak Show, there was a character that Jessica Lange murdered.
I love this part. I don't mean to interrupt, but I love this part. Because he starts crying, and then Ray Wise, and he's so good here, he turns that into this, I'm totally getting away with this.
This psychotic, maniacal laughter.
Yeah.
So there's someone that she murders, and then someone who is murdered. And she really loved the person who was murdered. And when she's upset about that, it's so genuine. But when she's trying to be sad about the person she killed, you can tell it's so fake.
Right.
And this is Jessica Lange, who is fantastic.
Obviously.
And I think that's a major mark of a good actor, when you can do them both.
Yeah. And she did that in multiple seasons. She was so good on that show.
She was wonderful. I think right here, Cooper's on to something.
Well, that's what his instincts, I think, are kicking in, and he's like, something's not right here, but he doesn't quite know what it is.
And how would you ever possibly figure something like this out?
Probably because they're so zeroing in on Ben at the moment.
You know what I think is funny?
Yeah.
That, now it's almost 30 years later, and Ray Wise kind of looks like that. He's got the white hair. But
he's turned into white-haired Leland. Yes.
But he looks better than he does right here.
Yeah.
He's certainly aged better than this.
Yes. And I love it how he makes sure everybody's out of view, and then goes right back to the dancing. Just having a ball. Literally.
That's so funny.
Somebody's getting a blood test. Or some kind of exam. We won't discuss what, but
Yeah, no, somebody's getting a cavity exam.
Now, all right, now bend over.
And I'm not talking about
cavity search.
I'm not talking about a dentist's appointment.
No. Ouch.
He just got his cholesterol taken.
Yep. I'm pretty sure Doc Hayward enjoyed that quite a bit.
I think he probably did. Yeah.
He'd really enjoy it if he knew what happens later in the season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that Ben Horn, while he has brought a lot of jobs to town.
Yeah.
He's just not even. I think everybody would love to see him go down that sort of Schadenfreude of the.
Well, it's not like he doesn't deserve it at this point because he's up to all these shady activities.
Right, he's up to shady activities, and he's a terrible father and husband too.
Right, exactly, and as more of we'll get that once we see Audrey later in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the diary.
Yeah,
a book. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. I don't want to touch your evidence, Cooper.
Yeah, I'm not getting my fingerprints on that.
We know you own One-Eyed Jacks. So did Laura, and we're pretty sure you had sex with Laura because you're gross.
The jig is up.
Yeah. Yeah, who are you really?
I'm Batman.
Who said that before? Who are you really?
Who are you?
For all adults here, we can talk about horrors and porn.
Let's engage in locker room talk.
I love when Cooper tries to be all locker room and all smarmy.
Yeah. So come on, we're all bros here. We can talk about it.
So gross. I mean, I think if you didn't know Cooper, you might believe it. But it's so not Cooper's deal.
Right. And that comes off a little forced, obviously, because it's not Cooper's natural wheelhouse.
No, it's not his natural thing to be gross and disrespectful like that.
Right. Well, no, he did do that though pretty well with Jacques, if you remember.
He does it great with Jacques.
When he got him to say, the bite but the bullet speech. Like, why don't you tell me what happened with that? And he got Jacques' confidence.
Yeah, exactly, because he acted like he knew a little bit, but and that sort of, because when you come in blazing like you think you know everything, people aren't going to want to talk to you. But when you're sort of like, I know Leo, you just drop the right name at the right time. I love this right here.
Yes.
I strongly suggest that you get yourself a better lawyer.
It's like even Jerry knows how bad he is.
Seriously.
It's like, I'll own that. That's on me. I get that.
Oh boy. It's going down.
Bobby's listening to the tape that he found in Leo's boot.
What's going down at Leland's house? Don't disappoint me. Who's talking?
Why, it's Benjamin Horne. Dun, dun, dun.
Seriously, this is just all of the sins of Benjamin Horne are getting figured out tonight.
Yeah, and then he's got it on tape that Benjamin Horne was doing a deal with Leo about the burning down the mill.
Right, exactly.
So this is like blackmail material. It's gold.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing.
So guess who just came up with another get-rich-quick scheme?
I think I figured it out.
Do you love me? Check yes or no.
Seriously. Oh, good Lord.
Check this box.
We got to go change Leo's water dish. That's the thing about Leo.
Yeah.
He's not dumb.
Nope.
He's going to cover his tracks, and he's out to get himself.
It's a credit to Machen Amick that she can still look good covered in baby food.
Baby food and cut up hot dogs.
Yep.
Their ship is about to come in.
Yep. Because, hey, my get-rich-quick schemes always work.
I don't know why he won't just go back to selling cocaine. I mean, that's going to do it.
He was good at that.
Yeah, he knew some people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he killed one of those guys.
Right, but he kind of like killed his supply chain.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you figure the law of averages, though. Eventually, one of his stupid schemes has to work, right?
Yeah, he's going to be due for something at this point. So, man. Nice bandana, Bobby.
Rocking the do-rag.
Jeez.
Meanwhile, at the Double R.
I will say I did enjoy the meatloaf at the Double R Diner. Yeah.
Now, this should tip Norma off right off there that she's a food critic.
Who the hell does this?
Toad, apparently. Oh, you mean
no,
take a bite? Yeah, it's like, bitch.
Somebody else's food.
It's like, bitch, I will cut you.
Seriously.
Yeah. And Toad is just like really cool with it, if you notice. He's like, no biggie.
Toad's like, whatever.
Yep.
Oh, gross.
Oh, here comes Ernie Niles, the professor.
Gross.
Because nothing says trustworthy like a skeevy dude in like a bad jacket, a bad toupee, and an unbuttoned shirt from the 70s.
Ernie, you need to run. Because she's a little bit of a Black Widow.
Well, he's not exactly Mr. Goody Two Shoes himself, though.
No, that's true. But that's the thing, is that as we remember from
they kind of deserve each other.
The Secret History.
Yeah.
This is her stepmother.
Right.
Who, it's interesting right there because he's talking about how they're both good looking and it doesn't skip a generation and it's not her daughter.
That's not at all creepy.
Yeah. No, it's not at all creepy, and Norma is not her daughter. So
right.
I think she's and this goes to tell you about Norma's character. Norma is a decent person. No matter what, this woman was married to her father.
Right.
This woman is the mother of her sister. So,
but obviously we didn't know this at the time.
She's going to be civil. I think we know it. It says a lot about Norma's character.
Right.
When I was at that diner, I sat pretty much right where Toad is.
Really?
So, yeah. It's a different counter, though.
You got the Toad chair. The toadstool.
The Toad.
Excellent.
That is. Nice one.
I can't top that.
I don't think you can. I don't think you should try. I should just
quit. I should just quit right now. That's as good as it's going to get, folks.
I want to know whatever possessed anybody outside of sportscasting to wear a jacket like that.
Right. Or a used car salesman.
Yeah, seriously.
So what's this? 1,000 Houston by 3 points.
Oh, I wonder how he is a financial analyst.
Yeah. If Ernie's like betting $1,000 on a 3-point spread, he pretty much deserves everything he's going to get.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And here we have...
Could I have a nice cup of cocoa?
Can I please have some water and maybe a little sandwich?
Maybe a Pop-Tart? Now, here's Deputy Expendable coming in.
Seriously, yeah, these are the cops we never see in
Exactly.
Yep. Exactly how do you get thwarted by a one-armed man?
I know, exactly.
That's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Did you check the corner, Starling? Did you check the corner?
No, sir. That's why you're dead.
Exactly.
You're dead, Starling. Check where's your blind spot, Starling? Corner, sir. Did you check the corner? No, sir. That's why you're dead.
I thought you'd appreciate the Silence of the Lambs reset.
I always appreciate that. Yeah, when Hank is gone for 2 days.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, no big deal. I was gone for like a couple days. Didn't tell anybody.
And he's like, I had business to take care of. It's like, no, she should be calling his parole officer.
Right.
Frankly. Oh, geez.
So now he's laying on the sob story. And Norma's falling for it.
People from my past who want to see me fail. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, like, it's, it's all these unsavory characters that I choose to hang out with.
That I keep calling for jobs.
Yeah, it's all their fault.
Everybody's fault but yours, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's something about when a creepy guy touches a woman very gently and slowly that is so ominous.
Well, especially when he's trying to work her here.
Or I'm thinking of when Leo says to Shelley, I'll stop by the diner later. Save me some pie.
Right.
That it's just, there's something so ominous about it. It's terrible.
Well, if it's somebody that you have genuine affection for and it's reciprocated, that's one thing. But when the guy's a total skis, then yes.
And he's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up prison like in the first breath.
Right. Nice to see you too, Vivian.
Yeah. Gross.
Those two should have hooked up. Vivian and Hank.
Honestly,
yeah.
I am having a really hard time right now deciding who I dislike more.
It's a tie, isn't it? It's a coin. It's a coin flip. Yeah.
I'm going to say Vivian.
Yeah.
Because of Annie's suicide attempt.
I'll give you. That's good. That's a good argument.
Yeah. Nobody tried to commit suicide because of Hank.
Bad binoculars. Bad binoculars.
Ha 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 ha. Nice one.
Very nice. Very subtle too.
And it's a really old reference too. I feel kind of old.
I was going to say that's a little. Anyone under the age of 30 might not get that one.
Might not get. Yeah. If you ever had cable and didn't have to watch cartoons on UHF channels,
right,
you might not know what I'm talking about. So he's like.
Yeah. Now, Harry, if you notice in the background, there's a picture of Harry S. Truman on Harry's wall. So
wouldn't you?
Is that considered like a self-portrait?
I think it's hero worship. Exactly. His name is Harry S. Truman.
I just think it's hilarious that Harry's office has a picture of the actual Harry S. Truman.
That's so awesome.
It's one of those little Easter eggs in the background.
Won't be too hard to remember that. Aw, Josie.
Yep. Like, wait a minute. Assistant. Asian fellow, what do you look like? And like an Asian fellow?
Oh, yes, her cousin Jonathan. She told me it was her assistant, Mr. Lee.
Wait a second. Dun, dun, dun.
Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee. Oh, Mr.
Does not compute.
Mr. Lee.
Pondering.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, you and half the cast of Star Wars.
No, Yeah, Philip Gerard with one arm beat the crap out of her 6'2" deputy.
I know. Doesn't really say a lot for their police force, does it?
Like I said, we've never seen that guy before, and we're actually kind of never going to see him again. So,
he didn't just have his arm tied behind his back; he had the whole arm off and still took out the deputy.
That's the thing. Al Strobel is a legit one-armed man. People,
you don't mess with Mike, man.
Yeah. It's they did their due diligence with this, and they found an actual one-armed actor for that. Foreshadowing.
Yep. So now Andy, she was gone for a few days. There is no way that could be her baby.
Yeah, Andy, just don't even.
It's like, Andy's down.
Andy doesn't know how cell phones works either. Apparently.
Andy is down. Repeat. Andy is down.
Andy is down.
Now, I love this scene. I love this because obviously I'm a big Pete fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Pete in this scene. He's so good.
Oh, yeah. He's so excited.
He's just having a ball with this. It's so funny to see him laughing and just taunting Ben here. I have a message for you.
And I'm carrying it around in this gigantic tape recorder.
I had that same cassette player.
Because it's 1990.
Yeah, I had that same cassette player when I was like 8.
See, these are the cassette players when they're black.
Yeah.
When they're all black, I think they look like tricorders.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Although just large tricorders.
I like how
she's alive.
I love how Pete Martell is totally fine playing this mean message to the guy that his wife had an affair with.
Well, in a way, he's kind of getting revenge here because Ben's in jail, and Catherine is basically blackmailing him to sign over the Ghostwood estates.
Yep. So she's basically saying, I don't know if I remember being with you or not the night Laura Palmer died. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Benji.
It's amazing. Yeah, you okay there, Benji?
So she's basically saying, if you want me to tell the cops that you were with me the night Laura Palmer died, I need to have Ghostwood.
Pete taunting Ben in the scene is everything.
Mm-hmm. He's so funny, just laughing at him and walking around the cell.
It's amazing that Catherine, though, actually trusted him to do this.
That's one thing you can do. You can trust Pete. You know?
And Pete, of course, because he loves Catherine, he's just so eager to do whatever she wants.
He loves Catherine.
He kisses the tape player.
he doesn't like Ben Horn. Nobody likes Ben Horn.
No. She set me up.
Yeah, she did, dumbass.
Yep. You fell for it like the bastard you are.
Like the idiot you are. Go back to running whores and selling perfume because that's all you know how to do.
So Ben's going to have a little tantrum here.
Yeah. It's, which I think is funny because it's like nothing in this cell could possibly weigh more than like 5 pounds.
Yeah. Take that pillow. No, I think that this is what everybody hopes President Trump will be doing at some point in the near future. Fingers crossed.
Screaming "you bitch" to Nancy Pelosi
in jail. Yes.
Yeah.
She set me up.
That'd be nice.
She totally set me up.
Here we have another cop that we've never seen before.
I'm cool.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just sitting on the toilet. I'm cool.
And I take you out, Missouri.
Yeah, the Surrey with a fringe on top is what he's singing here. If
you're
not familiar. And welcome to the Leland Palmer School of Driving.
Yeah, this is, he's just going to drive crazy and get pulled over.
And
ridiculous.
Cooper is whistling the same song. Did you notice?
Yes, it's so adorable.
It's like he was dialed in with what Leland was doing subconsciously.
I always think it's really funny that when in real life this happens too. Criminals will be in the middle of escaping from a crime that was perfect, but they just can't not get their ass pulled over.
Right.
They have to speed or drive erratically or something like that.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, you should have figured out how to drive, Bob.
Yep. Man, why am I always getting hassled by the 5-0?
Did you pull me over because I'm in a convertible? And it's February?
Yep, exactly, with the top down.
Seriously. The heck is wrong with you? I'm sorry, I'm just so excited.
Yep. I was just awkwardly weaving all over the road there trying to kill people.
Yeah, it's just nothing. I just really want to get to this golf course and, dump a body.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
No, that's, to forget, no, dump a bogey?
Yeah, something like that,
Oh, let's make something up.
Oh, by the way, I remembered something.
Yeah, let's make something up to throw the police off of the trail. And we're going to set Ben Horn up a little bit. And
he was talking something about a dairy.
A dairy?
A dairy. You sure he wasn't? You sure he just wasn't talking about going to Dairy Queen for a DQ Blizzard?
I think he might have been talking about a diary.
Oh, okay.
But
so here he gets distracted by Lucy calling.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you play golf? Of course, Cooper enjoys golf for its precision.
Yeah. Around at the club. I think he's going to club you, Cooper.
Yeah. Let me show you my spiffy new 9-iron.
Don't look in the bag, though. It's kind of dirty. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that when he opens the trunk and Cooper turns right around.
Right. Now, this is, just that Bob being just brazen here because he pops open the trunk intentionally and he's ready to club Cooper.
He's gonna take Cooper down.
He was going to do it right there, even with Harry around. He was going to kill him.
Yep.
Nope. I'll get him later.
Oh, next time.
Yep. I'll make sure he gets trapped in the Black Lodge. Doppelganger.
Yep.
If you notice, the license plate is 710 YEP, and if you take 710 and turn it upside down, It's oil.
Oil. Yep.
Scorched engine oil.
Scorched engine oil. I can smell it.
Smells like something's burning.
Aw. Poor Andy. I like how Hawks just looks over like, yeah, Andy passed out again.
Yeah.
Just going to go about my day.
I'm pretty sure that Andy's got the ice pack on his head because Gwen's talking to him.
Yeah,
not because he fell.
He's like, put it over my ear, Lucy. I don't want to hear this.
She's giving me such a headache.
Aw.
It's like personal space, Gwen.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about this in front of Gwen either. It's, he's basically going to tell Lucy, there's no way I got you pregnant, so.
Right.
Who did? But,
and Gwen is just prattling on here.
Yikes.
I love that even Andy is just like, WTF.
I had a nickel every time I heard that one. Yeah, is that why you've been pregnant a million times, Gwen?
Right. So what you're saying, you're a slut, Gwen? Is that what you're saying?
Well, now Andy's telling her that everything's inconclusive now.
Right. Shut up, Gwen.
We don't know what's going on.
One thing Lucy and Andy can agree on. Telling Gwen to shut
up.
Gwen
needs to shut up. Yeah. Seriously.
Gwen brought them back together.
Yep. Okay, here's the thing, Andy. If your sperm were dead and then they came back to life, but they were dead.
Yeah.
When
maybe
Lucy,
when you had sex with Lucy, maybe you're not the father.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Hey, Andy, did I tell you that, Horn's department store gives their employees a 20% discount?
Yeah. That's the thing, too. I don't care who the father is. Just do not let Dick Tremaine raise that child, please.
Oh, right.
I really appreciate it.
Mike's going to do a little sniffing.
Yeah. It's not him, though. I mean, that's the strange thing about this case is that there's really not going to be any possibility for justice because of the supernatural aspect of it. But there are some interesting techniques that they use for determining guilt or innocence because of the supernatural aspect.
I kind of like Jerry here. He's just like, is there something you'd like to share with the class?
Yeah. Jerry, you're out of your element, Jerry. A lot has gone on since you were in Japan.
Right. So Jerry's laying down that the 24 hours are up, and they have to charge him or let him go. So
he's being formally charged with the.
So now he's charged. Wah, wah. To be fair, Jerry did say he was a bad lawyer, and that Ben should get a different one.
And he actually advised him.
He was pretty upfront about that.
To get new counsel. So
Ben loses his shit again.
Ben's mad. I mean,
Ben's got a temper.
Town.
He obviously got over it as he got older. Got over that temper of his.
Who?
Ben.
Ben, yeah, well, he had a little bit of psychosis during the Civil War.
That's true. He had a breakthrough. So Harry here is just like, look, I'm sick of all the mumbo jumbo. We've got hard evidence. It's like that SNL skit. It's like they were inspired by that SNL skit.
I did. You saw me.
Harry, if I throw a rock at this window, Leo Johnson's free to go.
Leo's the killer. Yeah.
Leo, you're free to go.
Oh, see, here we go. She's describing the food. We should totally know by now. That's what's
Meanwhile,
happening.
Hank is just gnawing on some ribs. Nom, 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 nom.
I just don't think you should go to a restaurant and eat with your hands like that.
And you notice he's drinking a beer while the others are having wine. So that kind of, they're trying to really emphasize that he just has no class whatsoever.
And he doesn't know how to be a gentleman because when ladies leave the table, the gentlemen are stand.
And he's the only one that has a nap, like his napkin tucked in his shirt.
Yep, he's got a bib.
You're like, school in the summertime, no class.
No class. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah, he's got a domino tie.
That bolo tie with a domino in it.
Yep. Now, you notice it's a different domino that the one that he sketched, because remember, that was double threes.
Yeah.
This is now double four. Bolo
so
tie.
what they're talking about is that they actually know each other from prison.
Yes.
Hank and Ernie.
Yeah. He knew the professor back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The professor and Marianne.
Yeah, what did it?
Of course you met him at a Republican fundraiser.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
Vivian wants you to handle all of her investments. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally turning over a new leaf. Totally.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even...
Yeah. Yeah, me and my wife, Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah, that's a ticket. Yeah.
There's a savings and loan. Yeah, everybody... Yeah, the savings and loans stole from everybody else, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we blame Ernie for that? The savings and loan scandal?
No, I think we're going to blame Ivan Boesky for that.
Okay, we'll do that then. All right. That sounds good.
Oh, he was more the insider trading.
Maybe Ernie did a little part of it.
Blaming him and his asshole.
So now Hank is kind of like leaning on Ernie here, saying, look, it'd be a shame if Vivian found out about your past, dude.
Yeah.
We'll talk more later about this. So he's already working an angle here.
Because I'm a really bad blackmailer.
Yeah.
See, he figured it out. How to be a gentleman. I like to propose a toast with my beer mug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To crime.
Gentlemen?
To crime.
To evil.
Yep. Oh. To the professor. Oh, wait. Did I say that? Oh, never mind.
Hang on a second. No, I don't. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Still, I love how this town only has 2 restaurants.
And I love he just stays standing. Chug, chug, chug.
Chug it down.
Burp.
Yep. Classy.
Why don't you just pick your teeth while you're at it?
She's looking at Hank like, what the hell did I hitch myself to? Santa! Is Santa going to show up?
Yep. That milk will cool on you.
Cool on you. Ugh. One of my all-time favorite Mary Tyler Moore quotes.
Here's Kyle MacLachlan with his shirt off.
No, I'm having a good time with this.
You're welcome, ladies. And certain gentlemen.
Mary Tyler Moore is trying to get to sleep, and she says, ugh, warm milk tastes like warm milk.
I've never liked warm milk.
No, it's gross. Unless there's chocolate in it, I don't want it.
Yeah. I'm surprised that pie has not been
11 o'clock at night, Cooper. Do you remember what happened the last time?
Right. I'm surprised that pie is still intact.
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe I'll put on a shirt to answer the door, but I won't button it.
This is a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, Audrey.
I was pretty sure you'd have your shirt off. Is it okay if I come in?
I can wait till you take your shirt off.
Is that where you got shot? Yes, on my body and right here on the floor where we're standing.
I bet if you look under the bed, her note is still there. No. Yeah,
seriously. Why did it take you like a friggin' week to find my note, dumbass?
And what does it say about the cleaning service that they never found the note under his bed?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So she's trying to figure out exactly what the deal is with her dad. Yeah, see, he's a terrible person.
What? All she ever wanted was him to love her.
Yeah, well, too bad.
He's ashamed of her.
Well, he's just a terrible person.
I was just saying, it's just, no, Audrey, it's just your father's an asshole.
He's just a bad
accept that, move on. You'll be much better off once you accept that.
Aww.
It's not your fault, it's his.
Audrey feels the need to tell Cooper that she kept her honor Well, she was at the whorehouse, imprisoned.
Yep. Audrey also makes a point of always getting on his bed. Have you noticed?
Wouldn't you? Well, you might not. I sure
I
would.
wouldn't. No.
That's the first place I would go.
Maybe
like,
maybe on her bed, but not his bed.
Oh, like this is great. What is this? A chenille bedspread? I love it.
At least he finally got the phone.
Yeah. Cooper's going to have to go out.
Oh.
Go to your room and lock the door because now it's a horror movie.
Got trouble up the mill.
Trouble down the mill. And hope they don't have blasters, Audrey.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
Well played.
Something crazy is about to go on.
It has happened again.
Again.
It has happened again.
It has happened again. Mm-mm.
This better be worth it.
I had my shirt off and Audrey was in my bed. Oh, that's plastic.
Oh.
Seen this before.
Oh, yeah, this looks familiar.
It looks really familiar.
Oh,
like
it's Maddie. She's dead, wrapped in polyethylene.
See, this is not good.
It's deja vu all
dun,
over
dun,
again.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun.
Now I have to wait a whole week.
Ah, they.
Dang it. Dang it, network television of the 90s and how difficult it was to wait.
Dude, you have no idea. Remember, I watched it live.
A whole week we had to wait for this stuff.
It's killing me. But, yeah, so that was a rather interesting episode. Now, obviously, you know, it kind of follows up a lot of what we had last week, or last time. But, but it's also that kind of bridging gap to the big, as we build up to the finale next time.
Yes. Yes, we still have some bridge episodes we have to get through.
Yeah.
So we have to start. Everything's got to start coming together.
Yeah.
Before it starts unraveling again. So
essentially, we've got, you know, there's another dead body. They're obviously going after the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, so they've got to figure this out quickly.
Right, because Benjamin Horn has been in jail for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which we are well aware of.
But he's charged now, so they could keep him.
But the thing is, he's been in jail for 24 hours, and this body is less than 24 hours dead.
Right, so obviously he's got an alibi.
It's obviously not him that killed Maddie, so...
Right. So that's a pretty good alibi that, oh, hey, I was in your custody when this body was found.
And what's under Maddie's fingernail? What letter?
I can't remember.
It's like a B, I think. I don't remember for sure, but...
No, let's see. Let's see, there was an R under Laura's.
And a T under Teresa Banks.
Right. So it's probably the B then.
I think it's the B. I forget. But
yeah.
So once they find the letter...
They put up RBT on the blackboard.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that, yeah. So I think it's the B.
Yeah.
And so they go...
I think you're right.
Once they realize that this is the same modus operandi, as Gordon Cole would say... They're going to realize that they've had the wrong man in jail. Now, I will say this. They do have a guy who is guilty of conspiracy to commit arson and essentially human trafficking.
Right. So it's not like Ben is completely innocent here. Let's keep that in mind.
He's not innocent. He just is not in jail for what he was charged with, which is the
by the way, he was also owner of a illegal brothel.
That's what I said. Essentially human trafficking.
Yeah.
Because not only is it an illegal brothel...
and prostitution, yes.
Right, it's prostitution, so we have that.
Yeah.
But it's also, and I believe the technical term for this is transporting minors across borders for immoral purposes.
Right. Oh, and wasn't that also used to funnel drugs out of Canada as well?
Well, does Ben Horn know that? I mean, I want to say he does because he's in league with Leo Johnson.
Right, exactly. He had to know something because he and Leo, he was essentially working with that angle.
But I don't know if he's working.
Because what I think was that Ben was arranging for the drugs to get to Leo, and then Leo would get them to Bobby, and then Bobby would distribute them at school.
See,
right?
I thought that, yeah, and that's the part I'm not sure is where Ben Horn gets in with Leo Johnson and Jacques Renault. Because Leo and Jacques were doing a lot of the drug running.
Well, okay, so then maybe Ben oversaw Jacques, and then Jacques got the drugs to Leo, and then from Leo to Bobby.
See, yeah, I'm not really sure how that would work because
I'm not sure what the drug food chain here is.
I don't know the drug food chain, and I don't know the Flesh World food chain either.
Right.
There was Ben Horn involved with the Flesh World stuff.
Do we really want to know the Flesh World food chain?
I really don't want to know.
I don't think so.
No,
I'm okay with not knowing that.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's our episode. What's your rating for this one?
Oh, what is my rating for this one? 8.5 pieces of slightly dry salmon.
Nice. We are in sync again, believe it or not. 8.5 golf balls on a living room chair.
Golf balls in the living room. That's a good one. Yeah, this one is just this.
It's not as strong as the last episode, and certainly not as strong as the next episode.
No, this is definitely a bridge episode, but it does keep you riveted because you want to know what's going on.
Right.
And because the whole time Benjamin Horn is in jail.
Right.
And you're like, no, he's such a horrible guy, but he didn't do this. It was like, this is like the one thing he didn't do.
Right.
Was kill Laura Palmer. And then is Leland going to get away? Is Leland going to kill Cooper? Is Leland going to kill Sarah Palmer? We don't know.
Yeah. And I think what drags this episode down is mostly because a lot of it is focused on introducing Ernie and Vivian. So there's a lot of time with them.
Right.
And as you know, because we just had the revelation in the previous episode, you're just like, okay, I don't care about that. I just want to know what's going on with Leland. I want to know what's going on with the main mystery. I don't care about this.
Right.
Like, I just want to see Leland, like, trying to be cocky and evade being captured.
Right. And that's the thing, is that if you're going to deal with,
and killing people. Yes.
Even when you're doing like a Norma story, you got to deal with Hank in a Norma story, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand Hank Jennings. He does not.
So it does kind of drag down the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, it does drag it down a little bit, but it's like it's a necessary bridge to, because you can't just have gut-wrenching episode after gut-wrenching episode. Right. You've got to have something in there that has a little bit of comic relief, which this has with Andy, and
plus you got to give your main actors a break.
They
can't do carry the entire episode.
Well, you have to build up suspense again.
Yeah, especially when you have like the big episode coming up next.
Yes, you have to build up the suspense. Like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
What's going to happen with Leland? Are they going to find him in time? Is Ben Horn going to give in to Catherine? You don't know. So this is a good episode to build suspense up again.
Yeah. So obviously in our next episode, our big 50th episode.
50th
episode of Ghostwood. We need to do something really special for that.
I think we should watch a really good episode where we,
Well, I know a really good episode to watch would be the next episode.
I think that's let's do that.
Arbitrary Law we're going to talk about. So this would be, the 9th episode of season 2 next time. And it's a biggie, obviously. It's the culmination. Basically, it's the finale to the Laura Palmer mystery.
Right. We're going to move on from Laura and they're going to realize that there's really not a whole hell of a lot they can do.
Right.
It's just going to be this sort of unresolved situation.
But it does kind of bring at least this phase of the series to a close. As we enter a different phase, the Wyndham Earle phase.
The Wyndham Earle phase, the final end of Jean Renault.
Right.
And so help me God, the James Hurley saga.
Yes. That's the downside, because we know that's coming up after this.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wonder if it's going to be not as bad as I'm remembering it, because it's been a while since I've watched it.
I think it is, but I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it recently either, so we'll see. I usually I've avoided a lot of those episodes, but
that's the thing. James is so dumb, but he's so sweet.
He's so
and
sweet,
the problem
but he's
with
so
those
dumb.
episodes,
yeah.
The problem with this episode is right now I can only take so much of sweet.
Right.
So.
But we don't have to worry about that just yet.
Not just yet. We have some time.
No,
yeah,
but yeah, we basically this is the big culmination of the storyline. The Cooper finally figuring out who killed Laura and confronting Leland.
Confronting Bob.
Yep. And a rather tragic end at the end of the episode. But an amazing performance by Ray Wise.
Amazing performance by Ray Wise.
Amazing.
How he did not have an Emmy for this, I have no idea.
Yeah. But basically, this is the episode that should have got Ray Wise an Emmy.
Hey, speaking of amazing, yeah, seriously. Speaking of amazing, you know who would have made a great relation to Lucy Moran?
Who?
Judy Greer.
Yes.
Judy Greer would be Absolutely. Like fantastic.
That's
as
perfect.
Lucy Moran sister.
Yeah, they should have. Well, they could maybe like her niece. They could have cast her as her niece.
Something, yeah, that would have been great.
That would, like maybe she was Gwen's kid.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And yeah, she could have been. I mean, hey, David Lynch, season 4. Just saying.
Come on, birthday boy.
There's an idea for you right there. Judy Greer would be perfect casting for that. Especially if she kind of plays it as like Charlene.
Oh, Sherlyn?
Or Sherlyn, yes. Depending
Sherlyn.
Yeah, different. Yeah.
Yep. Outlaw Country!
Yeah. Outlaw Country, woo!
First Lady of Outlaw Country or First Lady of this nation? Because I'm actually both. So.
Exactly.
All right. We got to start the Archer podcast.
We should.
Because we kind of already do it.
Exactly. It's like we'll just wrap up Ghostwood. We'll start talking about Archer.
Yep. That's the plan.
Phrasing.
Are we still doing that? Are we still doing phrasing?
No, we're still doing phrasing. All right. But so yeah, big episode, and it's just I love the fact that it just happened to work out. That our 50th episode is going to be
there's
arbitrary law. This
no way we could have planned that. We did not plan that even in the slightest.
No, what we're going to do after that, we kind of talked about like maybe we'll take a break from the kind of commentary episodes.
Yeah, we could do that.
We were talking about doing like a deeper dive into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want to like review some more David Lynch movies, or
we haven't
we haven't done Dune yet.
Oh boy, that's going to be a long episode.
But a good one.
It'll be good.
It's going to be. You can't. That's rife with stuff.
It'd be super, super good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll figure out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, exactly. Well, also in the meantime, we'd love to hear your feedback on this upcoming episode next. The arbitrary law, because especially if you've watched it before, you know what's going to happen. You have to have some thoughts about this. So we'd love to have you share your thoughts with us. We'll read them if you email us or post us on Facebook or what have you, Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
We'll read your comments here on the podcast because this is a big one, and I would love to get your feedback on this.
I would too. Where can people email us, Charles?
So obviously, if you want to do that, and we definitely recommend that you do because we want you to be a part of this podcast, email us. The email, ghostwoodpodcast@gmail.com. The Gmail. Ghostwood.
The Gmail.
The Gmail. Ghostwoodpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can reach us on the Twitter machine @GhostwoodCast. That's a great, perfectly acceptable substitute. You can IM or just tweet at us. Or you can reach us on Facebook at Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks Podcast, because, hey, that's the name of our show, so it made sense to do a Facebook page exactly the same way, same name.
That's probably the least cryptic.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of made sense to us, but you can post comments there or message us there, because, yeah, we'd love your feedback. I would, because I'd like to know what all of you guys think about this upcoming episode, what you thought. Maybe the first time you watched it and you were like, holy crap for crap.
Holy crap for crap.
So, Yeah, so please share your thoughts with us, and I'll kind of post this reminders, but we'll be talking about that in a couple weeks. So if you hurry up after we get this episode posted, hopefully it'll be posted pretty quickly. Just saying.
Yep.
If not, I'll just we'll try to get the word out as soon as possible.
Definitely.
But we'd love that. So Zan, where can they reach you on the interwebs?
Well, I am on the Instagrams and the Twitter machine.
Yeah.
As Udinax19.
What about the Udinax?
The Udinax. What about you, Charles?
Of course, I'm on the Twitters and the Instas at Charles Skaggs. Or you can reach me on Facebook, Charles Skaggs at Hilliard, Ohio, if you're so inclined. Or my blog at Geeky Things.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
Damn good coffee and hot. Where I talk about all the stuff we talk about here on Ghostwood. All kinds of comic book, sci-fi, and goodness. News about the other podcasts they do for Southgate Media Group, including, take a deep breath, Next Stop Everywhere, the Doctor Who podcast they do with Jesse Jackson or Karen Lindsay, or at the moment, because Jesse's kind of taking a break and Karen's not feeling well still. She's got a shredded throat. So I've been doing some fill-in hosts with that.
Nice.
A little rotating series of fill-in hosts.
That's cool.
Been a lot of fun. We've been going back through classic and new Who. And yeah, we just recorded the William Hartnell classic, The Edge of Destruction.
Nice.
So we go all the way. We're going to all old school with that one. And then we're going to be talking the Tom Baker classic, Genesis of the Daleks, next.
Oh, that one is amazing.
So yeah, so lots of good stuff coming up with that. What was that?
If you decide to do the Rise of the Autons with John Pertwee, give me a call.
Oh, Terror of the Autons? Yeah.
His first episode, yeah.
Oh, you mean Spearhead from Space?
I do mean Spearhead from Space,
well,
yes.
We've already covered Spearhead from Space, but we haven't...
All right, well, then you don't need to call me.
It's a great episode, though. We really like that episode. I actually made
Jesse out of me to this day.
I made Jesse a John Pertwee fan because of that episode.
Oh, so good.
So it is one of my favorites, personally, because it was a big influence on Rose when Doctor Who came back in 2005.
Yeah, why do you think the Doctor Who episode, the first Doctor Who episode of the new series, was Autons?
Exactly.
Because that would be why.
That would be why. But
so, what do I have here?
You have the Genesis of the Daleks album.
I do.
See, you need to write in some feedback so we can read it on the air.
I should probably do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But or hey, Zan, now that you bring it up, if you want to talk some Tom Baker or something, you could always come. Gosh. You could come on Next Stop Everywhere because I'm looking for fill-in hosts.
How much time you got?
For you, I have all the time in the world.
You could talk Tom Baker for,
Or, to put it more accurately, all of time and space, anywhere and everywhere. Where do you want to start?
Where do you want to start? Victorian England with werewolves.
But I'll just say, now that you bring it up, I'll extend that offer to you as well.
All right.
So, but in addition to Next Stop Everywhere, there's Titan Talk the Titans podcast that I do with Jesse, and going to be doing some fill-ins there as well because Jesse's kind of dialing things back because of his wife having some medical issues.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so he's kind
of
like
it's kind of really fast.
I do too. But he's obviously wanting to spend more time with his wife, which is perfectly understandable. The problem is it's kind of left me in the lurch a little bit.
Well, that's okay.
So and I'm cool with that. But I just have to be more creative with the scheduling. So so we're going to be talking Young Justice, Outsiders, that's on the DC Universe, for an episode, and then hopefully Karen and I will be talking Doom Patrol.
Nice.
Which I can't wait.
Yeah, you guys got a lot to talk about this week, don't you?
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, DC Universe, you got a lot to talk about.
Got a lot to talk about. So, and and then hopefully, if Karen can get back on track, we'll do the Phantom Zone podcast as well.
Nice.
Because it's been forever in a dog's age that we talked on that, but hopefully we can relaunch that. Fingers crossed.
Cool.
So we'll see. But that's what's going on with me. Otherwise, thank you for another fun discussion. I always have fun talking to you.
Thank you, Charles. I have a great time talking to you.
And I hope I brighten your day a little bit.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
I tried.
Been a stressful week. So
yes, it has. You've had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
To put it mildly.
So, but I got my tomorrow scheduled out, and I should be able to get some things taken care of. So.
But you got your spiffy new specs.
I do. I got new sunglasses too, which I'm excited about. So.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, with the way that sometimes with it snows here and the sun, it can be blinding.
Blinding. Yes, even if it's gray outside, the sun, the snow is like supernova.
Exactly. So everybody
get used to because they're bigger than my old glasses. So they're bigger than the glasses I've had in the last couple of glasses. So they go further down on my face, and I haven't had glasses like that since the 80s. So it's
so you have to get used to it all
used
over
to that again. Yeah.
That's cool.
So all right.
But you'll get it. You'll get it figured out.
It's only been a couple hours.
Exactly.
I'll figure this out.
I would say they're fresh out of the box. You got to give it a little bit of time.
Yep.
All right. So everybody, come on back next week. Arbitrary Law, our big 50th Ghostwood episode. I can't believe you put up with me for 50 episodes.
I can't believe you put up with me for that amount of time.
Nope. No, that's not putting up with you at all. And, even though, I should tell everybody really quickly, Zan was kind enough to send me a gift in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
And I really appreciate it. Nothing big. She just sent me this great magnet, which has officially made the fridge.
Nice.
So, yep.
It is fridge approved.
Yep. I actually have a picture of it here.
Aww.
On my Instagram. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out. But it says, I couldn't afford a therapist, so I decided, hey, why not start a podcast?
I saw that.
Which, pretty much, that's pretty much how it worked. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that magnet in Holy Craft here in Central Ohio on High Street.
Holy
Craft. So if you guys haven't been to Holy Craft, I highly recommend it. It is on High Street, just north of North Broadway. And it's amazing, handmade goods, small business, and they've got a little store cat who I love. Chunkers. Chunks. Chunky.
Chunkers.
Seems chunky.
That's a cool name for a cat. That's a cool name for a cat.
Yeah. So I got that for both of us. So I figured we needed those matching magnets.
We have matching magnets? I didn't realize that
Yes, I had to have one for myself too.
Twinsies.
Totally.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you again for the gift because it was a very nice surprise and it made me smile.
You were most welcome. I'm glad it made you smile. That was the intent.
It did. All right. So everybody, come on back. Ghostwood 5-0.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we'll see you next time.
Now I feel really
exactly. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be awesome.
And send us your comments. Definitely want to hear them. So we'll see you next time right here, Ghostwood, the Twin Peaks podcast. Out.